Hello and welcome back to another Euro 2020 video. If you've not seen it already, my predictions video for the group stage is on the channel. There should be a link somewhere around my head. In this video, I'm going to talk through my fantasy football team. You can create your fantasy football team too by going to UEFA's website. The link will be in the description below. And this is for the team that I'm going to have for the opening stage of the tournament. You can make transfers. It's like normal fantasy football. You know the score where you make subs, make transfers and all that kind of jazz. When picking this team, I've used my predictions from the previous video as a base. So most of the players are from the teams that are predicted to do well. Please feel free to share your teams. Let me know what you think of mine in the comments section down below. But without any further ado, let's get it started. So in goal in the starting lineup, we've got Tim Krul from the Netherlands. He's expected to be the Dutch number one for this tournament without usual keeper Jasper Cillessen. Of course, the Dutch side, he is ruled out after testing positive for COVID in the build-up to the tournament and not being included in the final squad. Krul has only missed one of the last 7 internationals, and that was the last warm-up game against Georgia, where it seems the Dutch coach seemed to be allowing some opportunities to other members of the squad. Given I've predicted the Netherlands to easily get out of their group, it seems a safe bet to pick Krul, and I expect to get a solid base of points. The first defender that I've gone with is Jason Denayer from Belgium. As I've predicted Belgium to win all 3 of their group games and only concede 1 goal, it makes sense to include a Belgian defender in my team. Denayer played in most of Lyon's league games as they earned a 4th place finish in Ligue 1. And he's played some part in each of Belgium's last 10 matches, so hopefully he'll be starting in the group games and he'll help my points tally by keeping a couple of clean sheets. Next, we've got Pau Torres, the Spanish national, the Villarreal centre-back, who should be in the starting 11 for a Spain side who should have no difficulty in winning their group either. And after spending most of my budget on midfield and attack, £4.5 million for Torres seems a bit of a steal. Next, we've got a bit of a risky one. We've got Reece James. Now, with Trent Alexander-Arnold out of the tournament, I think James is going to be the man that's going to be chosen at right back. But of course, as we know, Southgate does like to have a plethora of right backs at his disposal. He might choose someone else. But I'm playing it risky and saying he's going to choose James at right back. Hopefully he can help provide points with clean sheets and maybe an assist. And the final defender in our starting lineup, incidentally, we're playing a 4-3-3 formation, is Matthijs de Ligt from the Netherlands. Although he did miss the final warm-up game, he should apparently be fit for the Netherlands opening game against Ukraine on Sunday after rejoining training this past Tuesday after suffering a groin strain. Again, with de Ligt being more of a defensive player, I'm mainly hoping for some points from clean sheets from him. Now for midfield, and the first midfielder I've chosen is Jack Grealish. In my opinion, we need to be starting Jack Grealish, we as in England. He's going to be one of England's key players in this tournament, and that's not just because he was the most fouled player in the Premier League last season, like so many pundits continue to let us all know. The creativity that he possesses, his eye for a pass and eye for a goal, it's all going to prove useful in a group stage where England should be running away with it. I fancy him to get a few goals, a couple of assists and plenty of points. My second midfield choice is David Alaba from Austria. Now, he's mainly in the team just as the set-piece specialist. He does take the free kicks, so if Austria can get themselves a free kick or two in a dangerous position, I'm confident that Alaba will be able to either convert that into a goal or at the very least an assist. And for £5.5 million, euros, I can't really complain. And the final midfielder in the starting 11 is Bruno Fernandes. This speaks for itself, really. I think Portugal are going to do well and get to the latter stages of the tournament, and Fernandes is going to be their creative spark. I'm going to captain him for the first match day as well, as they are playing Hungary, and I think he should be able to at least get an assist. There should be plenty of goals for Portugal in that one. I think, if I remember rightly, I've got them down as winning 2 or 3-0 against Hungary. So hopefully Fernandes can be involved and as captain double my points. Now for the front 3, and the first of my chosen players is Marcus Rashford. So out of the 3 listed English forwards, I've gone with Rashford because playing from the wing, he's got more of an opportunity to get some assists as well as goals, and also because I feel like a lot of people, when looking at an English forward, they're going to choose Harry Kane. So I want to do something a bit different, didn't want to be like everyone else. So hopefully Rashford can get me a few points as well. Then we have Romelu Lukaku from Belgium. As I think Belgium are going to be one of the contenders to win the entire tournament, it makes sense to choose their starting striker in my team, especially as I predicted that they're going to score 7 goals in the group stages alone. With 24 goals and 10 assists for Inter this season, hopefully Romelu can take that good club goal scoring form into his international form and bag a few points for me as well. And the final member of the starting 11 is Kylian Mbappe from France. He's a man who I think could grab the top goal scorer award in the entire tournament whilst helping his team to the final, if not the victory of the entire competition. He's got 42 goals in 47 games in all competitions for PSG this season, as well as 11 assists. He should bag me a ton of points, barring some cataclysmic disaster for France. And then now for just the four people that we've got on the bench. So sub-keeper is Robin Olsen. He is Sweden's #1 goalkeeper. And since I've got Sweden down to pick up 2 clean sheets in the group stage, he's a decent backup keeper for the first game, and he'll probably be in the starting lineup for the other 2 match days where I've got Sweden to keep the clean sheets. Sweden plays Spain first off. I don't really fancy them to do well against Spain, which is why Olsen is not starting in the first match day. Then we've got Andy Robertson, the Scotland captain. As we know from his performances in the Premier League for Liverpool, he's always able to get assists. And if Scotland do have a chance of getting through the knockout stages, which I think they do, then I think he's gonna pull a few assists out of the bag. And then the final 2 subs, really I was just running out of money at this stage and just needed some players. So the first one is a bit better than the last one. Rodri is my 3rd substitution. Best value player from one of the nations that I think are going to get far in the competition is the reason for signing him, the main reason. And then the final substitute is Ruben Colwill, who I've not even heard of, but he was valued at £4 million. He's a Welsh international, so yeah, he's not going to play. So that is my fantasy football team for the first match day of the tournament. It's obviously going to change a lot. We're going to see who's actually going to perform well and who's not. So there will be updates throughout the tournament, reviewing how it's gone, how many points I've got in each game week, and any changes that I've made. The next video on this will be out after match day 1 is complete on Wednesday, the 16th of June, where I'll run through any transfers that I make, any subs that I made in between days, because I believe you can make substitutions after each day of the tournament up until the next fixture kicks off. So, I mean, I'm not expecting many changes, to be honest. In fact, I probably won't make any substitutions in between days in the same match day, if you get what I mean. But that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like button, subscribe to the channel to get all my content when it comes out. Hit the notification bell to stay notified. And one more thing, don't forget, it's coming home. Come on, England!